Intimate gluttony. His penis was too small, partial to 6-foot muscly redheads. Did God close her womb? Jesus did not endorse polyamory. Rachel and Leah compete for children and Jacob's love, and it is God who opens their wombs after their suffering. Jacob's family expands, forming the roots of the 12 tribes of Israel. Cunningly negotiates with his uncle Laban, agreeing to work for speckled, spotted livestock, and outsmarts Laban's attempts to cheat him with his selective breeding, and becomes very wealthy with God's favor. So the learnings here is God hears human pain and answers in his own divine timing. Deceit and dishonesty does not win against God's protection and those faithful to him. There is adultery here with Jacob, and the narrative depicts polygamy. Within a pre-Mosaic cultural context, it shows jealousy, rivalry, and family dysfunction as a result. It is before God gave the formal, moral, and legal codes to Moses at Mount Sinai. Rather than portraying these arrangements as blessed, text shows how polygamy fractured Jacob's household, pointing towards God's original monogamous design for marriage in Genesis 1 and 2. Jesus explicitly supported lifelong monogamy, pointing back to Genesis' union between two people. He did not endorse polyamory. Alternative theologians argue that Christ's expansive love for believers mirrors collective devotion, but biblical scholars agree this is a spiritual symbolism, rather than a model for human sexual or marital ethics. Also, God condemned sexual immorality via flood with Noah and the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Isn't that a big enough clue? I met a famous couple who are polyamorous. The woman was a gorgeous prima ballerina, and he was a super nice average-looking author. They told me his penis was too small to satisfy her. She was partial to 6-foot muscly redheads. So they mutually agreed that polyamory was best for them. But she couldn't conceive for years. Did God close her womb until they stopped other men knocking at her gates? Was it the womb trauma she had to endure before her prayers were answered? Glastonbury and the hippie scene is big on polyamory, but from experience with my patients and friends, I see a lot of this pattern stems from the feeling of inadequacy and the need for validation, living from a place of a glass half full mindset. Rather than acceptance and gratitude for what God has already given, the pursuit for more, for bigger and better will come hand in hand with addictive behavior to surpass your last oxytocin hit. A never-ending cycle of intimate gluttony. There's evidence time and time again of jealousy in polyamorous relationships. The lack of morality stems from those who lack self-worth and moral discipline. If you felt the love of God, you will feel full, and you would want to keep your purity because you know you are more priceless than a ruby, and you belong in a group of others that recognize your worth.